Hey, spiritual rock stars. Today I will be going over what your intuition actually is, how to distinguish it from anxiety or fear, and 3 ways you can strengthen it. My name is Dalton, and I'm your guide to the invisible and unseen, removing illusion and confusion in your spiritual awakening. If you're searching for direction and the courage to take the next step, keep watching. So, what actually is intuition? Intuition is a subtle feeling, it's a subtle nudge. But what actually is it? It can be compared to that of a bird in flight, changing directions in a very subtle way, somehow knowing that there's a storm 3 miles east, right? You have that same internal compass, and this internal compass is natural for the human being. So this is anytime you've been at a crossroads in your life, this intuition has told you, go this way, okay? Key factors to distinguish intuition from fear or anxiety are these. For one, intuition is going to be neutral. So there's not going to be a time pressure when you get your intuitive message or your intuitive feeling. It is very neutral, as in spirit. You're connected to the quantum field, and that is basically quantum information, because that gut feeling that you get, this is connected to the nervous system. It's also connected to the solar plexus. Your solar plexus is the energy channel that takes in all of the vibrations in your environment. And so when we take in all the vibrations from our environment, it goes right to our gut, right to our stomach or solar plexus. And this happens before thought, before emotion, and sometimes before we can even perceive that it happens. It's an automatic response, an automatic thing that the human body does. It takes in vibrations from the outside and translates it to a thought, to a observation, to some sort of conclusion. Another key thing here is that you're going to have a feeling. It's going to be a feeling. It's not going to be a thought. It may channel into a thought, but it starts as a feeling, deeply as a feeling. And one thing I'd like to say too is that if you're a very busy person and say you have a lot going on all the time, you're going to work, you have school, you have your friends, you have your hobbies, know that intuition comes on a subtle level. It's a part of the subtle body that you have. And so if you're distracted, it can be quite hard to hear your intuition. What's different about the fear or the ego or the thoughts that can sometimes masquerade as intuition is that they can be time sensitive. If you don't do this right now, something's going to happen, something bad's going to happen, or you're not going to get this opportunity ever again, right? It's a fear-based thought. So typically you're going to have an emotional charge behind this. This is not intuition. This is a fear. This is thought. And a lot of times, fear or anxiety is loud, it's very intense, it's a little overwhelming. The intuition will be subtle and natural. And the reason, too, that we know that our thoughts are not our intuition is because it's connected to our ego or our human body, our sense of being in a human body. So it's our identity in a human body. We, as we know on this channel, are pure awareness experiencing a human body. That pure awareness before the experience of the human body is where the intuition, where the random ideas, the random sparks of information, that's where your intuition resides as well. And this is before the ego self. A few ways you can strengthen your intuition if you're at a crossroads in your life and you're kind of confused and you're wanting your own internal guidance. Say you're asking your friends and your family, you're looking up on the internet, but nothing's really giving you the right answer. You have the right answer. So the first step in strengthening your intuition is limiting or removing distraction. This is a really sensitive topic these days. So many people are constantly, and I mean constantly, on their phones, watching videos, doing something. And so if you can remove or limit, at the very least limit the distractions around you, even if that means an hour a day, you don't have any technology around you, that you're with yourself, that you're doing something, that is going to help you huge in strengthening your intuition. It's kind of like a muscle, okay? Your intuition's like a muscle, so the more you use it, the stronger it gets. So there will be a certain point in time after you watch this video and you practice that you won't have to guess what comes next, what you need to do next. It'll be a natural connection to yourself so strong that there's no doubt there. The second step is meditation. Find stillness in some way. Sit outside in nature. The key part here is you need to let your emotions pass. You need to let your thoughts pass. Find a connection to something that is still. Find a tree. Find a river. Find a lake. Find your favorite spot in nature and sit there and let these thoughts, let the emotions pass. It doesn't matter how stressful of an experience that you're having right now, you have time for this. This is essential, okay? So the more you could find stillness in your day, in your week, by finding and being next to things that are still, is that your intuition naturally arises. It becomes something that's very, very subtle. Sometimes in the beginning of my journey, in the beginning of my spiritual journey, I had very obvious punches of intuition in my body. It would be like how I would describe as goosebumps. I get goosebumps all over my body. When I would say, I feel like doing this, I would get goosebumps everywhere. And I'd be like, yep, that's my intuition. Sometimes it'll show up as a physical sensation at first, but it changes. Know that the intuition can change forms. The key thing here is just letting the thoughts pass, letting the emotions pass, okay? Number 3 is body check-ins. This one's really, really cool. And for those of you who haven't tried this, I definitely recommend this third step. Notice how your body reacts or responds to choices that you make. Intuition can often show up as tension in the body, as relaxation in the body, or as those gut feelings that we were talking about. But as I've said just a moment ago, that intuition can change forms. So it can go from these physical sensations to maybe ones that feel more subtle. Or it could be a feeling, just a feeling. I want to add these little bonus practices here right now to strengthen the intuition. Number 1 is a dream journal. A dream journal is awesome because in our dreams, we have our subconscious that are constantly organizing things, clearing things out, moving things to our attention, moving things out. And the subconscious are typically in dreams will bring you symbols, bring you situations, bring you a weird dream to bring something to your attention. So carry a dream journal with you next to your bed and start this as a little practice for yourself. And again, what's important here is if you do want a dream journal, take half an hour before bed, no phone, no computer, no nothing. Try to just have the body relax. If you want, you can read, but have the body relax. This is important because the best dreams I've had, I'm very relaxed before I sleep. The second little bonus thing that I want to give you guys is practice with small decisions. So instead of overanalyzing stuff like what do I want to eat or what do I gonna wear today or where do I go, just go with your first instinct. Go with your first instinct. So we're going to remove that inhibition that can happen sometimes with decision making. So with small decisions, you're just going to go with your first one, your first instinct. And another thing I want to mention too with the dream journal is carry a regular journal. Sometimes when we're like free writing and we're just talking about our day, our feelings, our thoughts, is that like we often will write down things that like we needed to hear, that we really felt true in our heart but didn't initially think about it, didn't feel into it, but writing can just let that come out. So let it come out through writing too. Whatever problem or question you had in your mind before you clicked on this video that you're stuck with, that you're struggling with, that you're at a crossroads with, I want you to know your intuition has the answer. Trust yourself. If you want to go deeper, click the link down below to find one-on-one sessions with me or get my guided meditation, which is free and puts you on my awesome email list, which assists awakening souls just like yourself. So if you like the video, comment and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. But in the meantime, I will see you guys next week.